About 1987, Arthur Baker gave me a call. I was living in New York. He wanted me to come by Electric Ladyland Studios, listen to some mixes he had done, and I think I was playing on them. So I lived about 6 blocks up from that, so I went down to the studio. Arthur was sat at the SSL, and he put on a mix, and then he took out some blow, some cocaine. I mean, cocaine was everywhere back then. We all did it, everybody. And so I sat there with him, and we listened to mixes, and we sniffed about 2 grams worth of blow. I was geeked out of my mind by the time we got done. And then Arthur tells me that Doug Wimbish and Jeff Beck are coming by to record some stuff, and he wants me to play some drums. And I mean, I am as high as I could be. And like Jeff Beck was like one of my all-time guitar heroes, and this would be my first time meeting the guy. So Dougie and Jeff come by, and Doug doesn't know I've sniffed a couple grams of blow with Arthur, and so we all get hooked up, and I go in the studio, and I had just finished an album for Doug. It was quite a good album. I don't know whether he ever put it out, but some really great tracks. And so, Doug's trying to get me to play a groove, so all I could play was like one beat, no fills, nothing. I was I was afraid to move off the hi-hat. I was frozen. And, so Doug's wondering what's going on, so he picks another tune, which is, one of his tunes, which is like Blazing Song, and I played some pretty killer drums on the song, So he's trying to get me the gig. He said, Jeff, check this, so we start the song, and I'm playing the same beat. I couldn't switch out of that beat. So, he picks another tune, and he's looking at me like, what's wrong with Keith, and same thing. I can't do anything but that one simple beat. I was frozen in that one simple beat. The cocaine had got me. I mean, I don't think anybody can play effectively an instrument on drugs. A lot of people try, but it's always better when you're straight and not derelict in any way. So, after it was over, we listened a little bit to the recording, and, Jeff Beck started calling me Mr. Keith LeBlanc, and I don't think, he thought I could play at all. And Doug was, kind of scratching his head. And to this day, Jeff Beck, whenever I see him, he still calls me Mr. Keith LeBlanc, and I don't think he thinks I can play at all. So after it was over, I went home, and I to my loft in 14th Street, and I packed up my DMX, put it in the corner, and unpacked my drums and started practicing my butt off. And I quit doing cocaine altogether. I had made up my mind. I had embarrassed myself with one of my guitar heroes, and so it made me quit drugs. I just quit drugs at that point, and practiced for a long time. And so really, that whole circumstance kind of saved my life, really, because I was doing a lot of drugs up until then, and I wasn't playing much. So Arthur Baker called me the next day and asked me if I wanted to come up to his studio. Said he had some coke, and I said, nah, Arthur, I think I'm going to stay home and practice instead. And the funny thing was, that particular month, I know I didn't have anything to do with it, but all the people that I knew that were doing drugs, doing cocaine mostly, just stopped. And I guess it was the time. And most of the people that didn't stop doing it aren't here anymore. Well, that's my little junk story for this morning. Hope you enjoyed it.